Hey friends. So I've got this bird. He's a Jende conure. For those of you that are not bird people, that's basically just a small parrot, okay? I rescued him about 6 years ago. I tend to do this whole rescue thing. I can't explain it. I see value and worth in individuals that most don't. And so rescuing just kind of comes natural for me. So I don't rescue every animal. I certainly am not able to keep every animal that I rescue. But I believe that people and animals deserve a second, third, fourth, fifth, 100th chances, right? So anyway, my bird, his name is Sunshine. His name was once Clancy. But I believe he got a new life, a new start, so he should have a new name. So I'm not exactly sure how old Sunshine is. His story is kind of an incredible one to me. The vet who we got him from thinks that he was about 22 when we got him. So the story is that he was bought as a baby and was hand fed, was well loved and cared for by his owner, a woman. And, at some point she fell in love, got married. And after several years of marriage, she and her husband divorced. Somehow, I only know bits and pieces of Sunshine's past. His name was Clancy, and his life was different. So I don't know all of Clancy's life, right? So somehow they were divorced, and in that, she moved literally to another country, and the ex-husband kept Clancy. Didn't want him, but somehow was awarded custody of him. I don't know. So he met all of his basic physical needs. You fed him and that sort of thing, but he kept him in a dark room in the corner, covered up all the time. That's miserable for anybody, but especially for a parrot who's from Brazil. Their natural habitat is one of sunshine and outdoors and with others. They like to be in flocks of at least 30 other birds. So how miserable was poor Clancy? So anyway, a mutual friend of this once married couple happened to be a veterinarian, and when she learned of Clancy's plight, she offered to take him and just let him stay in a cage in the lobby of her clinic. So finally, he's able once again to see things, people, animals. Sunshine, oh my gosh, can you imagine? Because for years he had been locked in this back room. So he's able to see things, he's able to hear. The only problem is now he is very determined that he does not like people. He's very unpleasant and unkind and untrusting of humans. So I don't want to bore you with all the details of how I met Clancy, but when I did, the vet, realizing that I was a sincere animal lover, asked if I wanted to take him. So now being an animal lover, I've had a lot of different kinds of animals. And so I'd had a handful of birds in the past. I didn't have any at the time. And my husband knew that I was kind of missing them. Birds, they can be the coolest thing. They make these sweet sounds and they can be trained. They're very smart. Some of them live for a long time. So Clancy, he was around 22, the vet thought, when she got him. And so I've had him for 6 years or more. So he's probably about 28, maybe even as old as 30. So anyway, where was I going with that? So I decided, sure, we'll give it a try. I knew, however, like he didn't have a song. He had such a rough last several years of life. He didn't have a song. He wasn't pretty. He wasn't physically pretty, but he wasn't a pretty attitude. He didn't have a pretty song. He wasn't friendly. It wasn't going to be a great transition. Because he was so afraid, it was actually easy to get to our house. We were able to, get him out of his cage, just cover him up and transport him. But I told the kids and my husband, do not expect him to be friendly and want to come out of his cage and sit on you like our birds we've had in the past. Right? I mean, he was very fearful of others, and especially men. So I told them it'd be a couple of weeks, so we just have to be patient. Would you believe on day 2, I was able to hold him? That's unheard of. That's even if it was a healthy, friendly, had been well loved bird, they typically do not do that. But day 2, I was holding him, and not just on my hand, but on my shoulder. You know how I did that? How I got him to be willing to give me a try? I sang to him. I just started singing over him. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. I don't know why. It's just a song that came to my mind. And the moment I did, he stopped screaming and he started purring. Did you know that birds purr? A lot of people don't. But he started purring. He jumped on my hand, and we've never looked back. So that's also the moment I realized I needed to change his name to Sunshine. So I've just learned that he needs to be sung to be settled down, okay? He still doesn't make the prettiest sounds. He's still not crazy about people. He really hates my husband. I think he's just jealous. But he's cared for, he's happy, and he knows his name, right? It's a big deal. So we cover Sunshine's cage every night with a blanket. It's a common thing for pet bird owners to do. It helps them to settle down, to go to sleep for the night, okay? So couple mornings ago, as I was uncovering him, I don't know if he had a moment of anxiety or whatever, but he just started screaming. I mean, like nothing you have ever heard before. And it was like a fearful, angry type thing. And so I thought, okay, I am just going to start singing over him. So, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Instantly, he started purring. Instantly, all was right in the world again. And when he did that, it reminded me of how that scripture where it talks about the Lord sings over us with his love. It's Zephaniah 3:17. The Lord your God in your midst, the mighty one, will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you with his love. He will rejoice over you with singing. So I hope that your history, your past, isn't as traumatic as Sunshine's was. But I hope that you're able to hear the Father's voice as he sings over you. I pray that you are able to allow him to settle you and quiet you with his love, just like Sunshine he allows me to do for him. I also pray that you know your name in the Lord, and I think we'll talk about that another time. Be blessed.